Turnstile, Glow On. I don't know if you can see it. Can you kind of see it? It's a little pinkish, so I don't know how the camera's taking it. But anyways. Mother mystery! Oh, shit. And it's been so long. All the mystery gone. And it's been so long. All the mystery. Oh, man. Yes. This is the third full-length studio album. And this was my first album to listen to from them. And then after that, I was like, I had two thoughts in my head. One, there's too many punk elitist people, and some I know that are, I think, are still. I hope you still are, dude. You know who you are when it comes to certain things about punk music. I know how you are. I can tell you, you may not like this record at points. But if you keep an open mind, you'd be surprised. Minus the auto-tuning moments, which never, even when the first time didn't bother me. It was more that just everything flowed as well as it could all together. This album shouldn't work as well as it does, but it fucking does. I mean, as just a band that somehow blends, is essentially a dream punk album, a blending of dream pop and their brand of hardcore riffage, core punk riffage that they have had since their earlier stuff, which this is more reminiscent to those of the first one. And the next track, Blackout in the middle of the line. And I'm back down with the feeling, and I collide. Won't be long until the end. The spotlight shine. I'm back again. It's such a good. And the freaking wrist, bow down, bow down, 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 and then like in the bridge. What is it with this? The albums lately that have found a way to produce 80s style stuff have moments of, if not throughout, or moments on albums, on a chunk of the albums, if not throughout. I slightly am going to blame Justin the Juice for this. And his guitar for this. And it's even funnier in this one because I know he used to be a drummer for a punk band. So this album is like asking for him to be like, shit, I should do something with this. Shit. Like, if you're watching this, man, please, listen to this thing. You'll understand what I'm saying. It's fun to listen, dude. And there are some modern elements in there, like your auto-tunes, especially for apparently what is the first single of this record, TLC. Humanoid Shake Up ain't bad. Shake It Up, I guess, ain't too bad, I guess. Endless is an interesting track. It's more underwater. Don't Play ain't bad. Holiday, when I was starting to listen to it, it was also Labor Day weekend, and I was just jamming to this thing. It's a holiday! Fly Again, Alien Love Call. Can't be the... Oh, it's very... I get like some blending of Duran Duran and dare I say, even the police. Especially the vocals with that one. And it's supposed to, with that and Lonely Desires have like Blood Oranges. I don't think that one's supposed to be. I think there's another song on here that it does, but I don't think it's supposed to be Lonely Desires. I think that's a messed up a little bit, but whatever. No Surprise, okay, I guess, for being the shortest track. It does feel like a rap piece of some sort, you know. Dance Off is fun. Fly Again definitely is a bigger highlight for sure. New Heart Design is definitely one of my favorites on there too. Turnstile, Love Connection, TLC is just, and there's some 80s like hair glam metal stuff going on, especially given that he's got to be using a whammy bar. And I think they've been using one, but I think they decided with the 80s stuff they had to start using it and go a little more brown sound with it, you know what I'm saying? VH brown sound, like a brown sound, whether it be more specifically what would become of his amp tones through the Soldanos and the PV5150s. For all you gear nerds, you get it. You get it. In terms of the guitar tones. But, and you get this, like, weird thing with this song, like, Don't Play, where it's, like, it goes into some maracas and it's like a bossa nova thing going on or something. Don't play. And then before it kind of does go, no. Dun, 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 dun. You know, Desires isn't, I mean, it does. I feel it loses itself after TLC. It was surprisingly bad, but Lonely Desires does what it can to finish it off, but I think it's more the little noise that started this track off that helps cap it off and at least finds a way to at least end this in a way that makes it a great enough record to want to come back to. You know? And if this is your first taste, Wild World is fucking... Oh. I mean, especially when you started off with some fucking cowbell too. I mean, Dance Off is fun. Fly Again, I just love the lyric. I like it more for the lyricism on it, which is, especially since I kind of feel that way about it a lot. But it's mostly to deal with, or at least it's a better idea of dealing with drug references mostly. But in terms of like just in general trying to find some form of coping in general, but it also in a way that applies in general to coping mechanisms as opposed to Trash Boat, what Trash Boat did, and yelling at you say, and approaching it the worst possible way of telling the person, you're a fucking idiot, drugs are bad, you know, just come on, man, come the fuck on. At least they tell you, and tell you straight to your face about it, like, Fly Again, will you ever get high again? I mean, it's like, did I give a game a try or didn't I? Did I build a world with my design? Still can't fill the hole you left behind. And through those long nights. Or at least the way they go, still can't fill the hole you left behind. I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying this. Oh, man. Like, it's such a good, like, melodic hardcore, post-hardcore type style that they're doing with this, and I'm gonna have another hot take besides how people are about that, so... Yeah, you could say I'm doubling down with with how it happened with the Trash Boat record. I understand if you think that. But here's the thing. Did you try to go back and listen to the other two records and be like, what? And then go to that run and understand where I'm coming from? Okay, I've even listened to the album. Yeah, I'm not backing down on that one. I knew it was going to happen. I had the feeling that for some reason, because of the direction they went in and how big of a deal people are about it, and clearly hardly anyone before those albums, first two albums, even knew who the fuck Trash Boat was. And that's the fucking reason for why the dislikes are the way they are. I'm not stupid. But are you going to bother to listen to those other records and understand where I'm coming from, and we can have a discourse? You two dislikes out there. Hopefully that's all that's left. Ugh. And jeez. I even knew that I'm surprised I got that with the Switchfoot one, really. Though the one comment I did wind up getting was actually kind of constructive a little bit. I still need to pin that one, actually. But anyways, sorry, I'm going off on my other stuff. But yes, I like this, but... And even Viral Rack gave this thing... I don't know if I'd go as far as him, but I've considered it. Because he gave this a 10 out of 10. I mean, I was just surprised how everything worked together. And it was so 80s hardcore meets everything else 80s. As from the post-punk, new wave, and even to the extent of the dream pop elements that are in here. And given their dream punk, there's another band that I have reviewed before that's a little older on the dreamy side. More the dream thrash side. Yeah. I would love to actually see a Turnstile Astronoid collab. Think about it. Think about it. Think how much greater in sound this would be. Not to mention, I would think if they're going to continue going down the dreamy route, they're not a bad choice of a band to do that with. Plus, technically, and it's my way of saying I want a dream punk thrash album now. That takes this and that, what I got out of that. Even though that one's way more, I would say, ASMR metal, but it works. And then give it a little bit of energy, and they have the energy with the thrash riffing, and I'd love for them to mix together. I think it'd be great. It could be an interesting collab with what they've been doing here, or at least on an EP form, and you don't have to cook it or something. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And overall, I do like this thing. I don't know if I'd give it a strong, but regardless, this album rocks. This album just rocks. Yeah, I think Del Play has like the nice little lead thing where he's using the whammy bar a lot. It's, oh man. It's just, it's so much fun. Using that more brown sound sort of lead guitar and then mixing that with the hardcore punk style, which does seem to, clearly their style has taken from similar to Let Live, bands like Let Live and whatnot that have looked to 80s alt metal acts more in the vein, that have more roots, that are 90s alt metal acts that have roots in 80s hardcore, of the more Bad Brains that are more on the lines of acts like Bad Brains, Black Flag. Okay, sort of. Maybe a little bit of like the lead work that Dr. No had on the Eye Against Eye kind of stuff. With the... And I'm going to even also have a hot take. This is the Bad Religion Wishes Into the Unknown probably would be. Like, if they heard this, they'd be like, fuck, we should have made this. Why wasn't Into the Unknown next? I have a feeling, you've caught up with Crash's stuff because of how he is as a Bad Religion fan. When maybe even he'd be like, after just getting done doing a best of this, he'd probably listen to this and be like, this is the album I should have been. If he says that, I'd laugh. I'd lose my shit. And then 5 out of 5. Then I'd lose my shit. Or at least 4 out of 5 or something, whatever his score ratings are. Jeez, this album's that good, man. Same album, by the way, and that's from New Heart Design. One times you're wanting to mosh, and one time you're like, it's like, do I really have a say? It's like, But if this is your first exposure, I mean, and you're like, I'm not sure I like this, but I like this hooker stuff. Well, you like this, I mean, you like the heavier portions, right? You want more of that, right? Well, then you can just go listen to earlier stuff. Hell, in fact, if you like the way this one, the stuff that came off this sounded, well, listen to the first debut album, maybe their EPs. I've yet to hear their EPs, actually. I just stuck with the full lengths. But yeah, it's good. It's borderlining masterclass, but I can't fully give it the masterclass approval because of there's some moments of the auto-tune, depending on the mood, that even with the brief periods that they are, and so far been between, they can slightly take you out of it if you're not prepared for them, you know, or you're just not in the mood for them at the time. Which I feel like once that happens within the time frame of that portion of the record, after that, yeah, the album, if not for the way they sort of try to end it, the album with the last track, then I don't know if I'd at least say it'd be solid at the very least. But I don't know. But yeah, it's just, regardless, but it's a great album. It's worth your time. It's probably the hardcore album for 80s nerds. Or at least of the more mainstream type than the punk type, but if some punks were willing to be less gatekeeping and stuff, certain specifics, not all of them, not even the person I've mentioned is considered that. Maybe he likes this record, I don't know it. That surprised even me, actually, but, you know, to each his own. But what did you guys think of this album, dude? Did you all love it like I did? I mean, link it, like, if so, rock that like button with thrust if you must. Link in the description. Also like and follow me there. There's also the dungeon page thing, but that's something for other video stuff. But also, you can also follow me there too and see what happenings are happening there for Schmodown related content. But especially for the dungeon faction. But also, also hit the notification bell, click that, and as always, guys, this is Rockin' Moose. I've been Tyler. Keep it random, keep it real, keep it rockin'. I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be. Take care, y'all.